Good morning, YouTube. Well, this is about my third or fourth attempt at this now. Something keeps going wrong each time I do it, and last time I did what I thought was an okay take on it and lost it altogether. So here it goes again. I think the fourth time. I've got it all written down so I don't forget things. So it's all about my trip back to the Philippines this year. So I arrived at Thursday midnight. So Thursday morning, just gone midnight, I think. We got back to the hotel about 12:30 in the morning. So left Tuesday. Um, As always, I take the bus. Well, that was the plan. From just outside the campsite, it goes past and takes me to Harryford and so on and so forth. This didn't happen this year. So the bus was supposed to leave at 9:53 in the morning, Tuesday morning. It didn't turn up. I was there like half an hour before I needed to be, as I always am. I'm always have to be early for everything. So I know it's not my fault if something goes wrong. And I waited till 9:53, nothing. I waited till 10 o'clock, nothing. I waited till 10 past and then quarter past 10, and then I really started to panic because I needed to be at Hereford for 11:30, I think it was, to get the bus to go on to Gloucester. So the bus didn't arrive. So first thing I do was try and phone a taxi because I was panicking by then. So managed to go online on my phone and find a taxi. £46 just to get to Hereford. I thought, that's ridiculous. Okay, I'll give you a call back if I need to. So then I phoned my mate, who wasn't close enough. There's no way he could help me, and even if he'd been home, I worried that after he wouldn't have got from Leominster to me and back to Hereford again in time either. So I started to phone the taxi again and saying, "Look, I spoke to somebody else, like on a call centre, and I told them the same thing again. I need a taxi, and they were just about to tell me the price and what time it was going to be. That it was going to be way too late. They couldn't get me there on time." And at that moment, a car came down the driveway just past the campsite where there's a housing estate, and the lady said, "Where are you trying to get to?" "I want to go to the bus station." "Oh, okay." She said, "I can take you. I'm going past there. That's no problem." Jump inside, really relieved. Put my bag on the back seat, and I jumped, started to chat, and she turned right instead of left. I said, "You're not going to Harryford, are you?" She said, "No, we're going to Monmouth." I said, "Oh, I need to go to Harryford bus station." "Oh, I thought you meant Monmouth." So out I get. Thank you very much. Out I get, and then I phoned the taxi service again. Did I? No, I didn't. I phoned my landlord on the other campsite, and luckily he was home. Within minutes, he was there with his little Morris Traveller. So a lot of people won't know what that is, but very, very, very old car. It's so old it doesn't have to be taxed or MOT'd anymore. So off we went with in his car, and he got me to Hereford. I jumped out, ran across the road to the bus station. And at that moment, the bus came by to go to Gloucester, and I just got there in time. And basically, I had 3-4 minutes to spare. I got on the bus and more or less after I put my suitcase on, and a few other people boarded, off it went. So I nearly missed that one. But apart from that, it went okay. Got to Gloucester, and by then I hadn't been to Morrison's across the road in Hereford, where I was going to get my bit more pipe tobacco and some breakfast, cooked meal. This was always the plan. Didn't happen, so I was hungry by now because I hadn't eaten anything. I hadn't had a cup of coffee or nothing. So when I got to Gloucester, I had a look round, and connected to it, which I didn't know before, there's a cafe connected to it. What a cafe. And they hadn't got much in there, but I had a bag of crisps and a cup of coffee. From there, I went across the road, got myself a pasty, so and an energy drink. So at least I'd had something inside me by then. Eventually got the bus then, so that was about an hour and a half wait. Got the bus back on to Heathrow. Got to Heathrow, no trouble at all, in plenty of time. Waited about an hour, so it was there for 5:30. The bus is not till 10:20. Normally means you hand your luggage in, get your boarding pass normally about 2 hours before, so say 8:30, whatever. I went in there at about 6:30, and you could already do this. So and as you know, I've said before, if you've watched the videos, I sort of cheated with not the 4 months return, the 4 weeks return. I've taken a 7 months return, which you're not normally allowed to do. And I've said this always before, but because I got my marriage certificate and my alien card, I was going along with that should be okay. not doing anything illegal, but different airlines see it differently. So I get there, and she takes my passport, and she can obviously see on a monitor on the other side my flight details and everything. And she looks at me, she said, "When do you plan on coming back?" I said, "April next year." I don't know about that. I don't know about that. And I said, "That's when." I said, "I've got my alien card." "Oh, okay." I said, "I've also got my marriage certificate to prove that I'm married to Filipina." So, um, oh, okay, that's good, but I'm still not sure. So she had to go off for about a 10-15 minute discussion with two or three of her colleagues. Eventually, she come back, and it was decided I could fly. And I had a bit of a chat where I said, "Look, I know I took a bit of a gamble." I said, "And I'm taking a bit of a gamble when I get to Manila as well. They might also have problems with this, but I'm not." She said, "No, I'm not." She realised I'm not doing anything wrong, but as I also know, different airlines have different policies and so on. But anyway, I got away with it, and off I went on the flight then to Beijing, which is, I think it was about 9 hours, maybe 10, I can't remember, but about 2 hours into the flight, one of the flight attendants was asking people if anybody knew anything, was medically trained, or was there a doctor on board. And I've seen this in films before, but that's what she was asking. And I couldn't see what was going on, but basically further down from me, but another 10 seats further down, there's the toilets on the left and the toilets on the right, and it was by the toilets on the right, so out of my view. I wasn't going to stand up and see what was going on, so I couldn't see what was going on, but there was people stood around, and after about 20 minutes, maybe half an hour, I noticed that the toilet on that side had then been locked with a notice put up on there that was either out of order or not in use or whatever. Now I'm thinking, and I'm pretty certain, but I don't know, and I hope I'm wrong, but I think somebody must have passed away, because why else would they close that toilet down? And I have heard and seen in the past, if somebody should pass away on a plane, where else do they put them? Where can they put the body? So I'm imagining that's what it was. So that was that. Um, Off I went then to Beijing. Got to Beijing, that went okay. Had a nice beer. Only had I think 3 hours there, or 3 hours and 20 minutes or something like that. Got my connecting flight, no trouble at all there. No queries about my flight and everything, ticket. So on I got. Then went on to Manila. Now, when I got to Manila, this is where I was thinking, I've got that you now need. You used to fill out a document on the plane when you're flying to Manila, where you're from, where you're going to, how long you're staying for, your address you're staying at. Is it a hotel? Is it a private address? All this sort of thing. Passport details, flight numbers, all this has to go on there. But now it's all done digitally. They've caught up with that. So that last year it was as well, but I didn't know this or forgotten about it, and walked straight through. Didn't even query it. This year, when you got off the plane, heading up towards the terminal, there was people stood there, members of staff stood there with phones with the app on there, with this travel document, document. You need to have this. It's very important. And the 40 yards further on, another one, and so on. And eventually, I opened up my phone, so I got the app there, saying, "I've got it." Okay, off I went. So you then go where you first get there. They take a photo of you. They stamp your passport and everything. So that's not where they check the document. So I went through there. I thought they were going to. They didn't even again query when I'm coming back or anything. Just stamp the passport. It wasn't even busy, so I thought they might take their time, but they didn't. From there, you go to the conveyor belt, where you pick up your luggage. That went relatively quick for me. Within 10 minutes, I was gone from there. Luggage through, got mine, and on to customs. I thought, "Oh, here we go. You must have this e-document, e-travel document," and so on. Get to it, where they can scan your luggage again, and where the customs check your passport again, and so on and so forth. Nothing. They waved me through. So 2 years on the trot now, I haven't actually needed this e-travel document. So yeah, I'm just checking now that I've told you everything. I think so. Yeah, I've given you pretty much a good update on everything. So that's it now. I'm now on my third day back home. I arrived here Thursday evening. It is now Sunday, so Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yes, I'm now on my third day. It's actually not raining this morning, which is the first time since I've been here. It's actually stopped for a longer period of time. It poured down last night. Poured down basically for the last 2 days before, the old break in it, but got soaking wet when we come back. I picked my tricycle up from Sally's nephew has it when we're not there. Picked up in Solano to come back home on it, and it was pouring down, and my feet get soaked because I've got the cabin that sort of goes over me on the top of the motorbike, so keep sort of dry. And Sally's in the cycle, so she keeps dry. It's just my feet every time you go for water. And it was that dark, and the rain comes down. Of course, it hasn't got a windscreen wiper on the windscreen, the motorbike and cycle, so you wouldn't, would you? So you can't really see that well. So you can't see where the water's coming. There's water but that deep in places, and as you go through it, so my shoes and my socks drenched. The shoes are only just sort of dried out now. 3 days later, my socks are still hanging up there. I think, oh no, Sally's took them and washed them now. But yeah. So we're off to town this afternoon. I've had a bit of a break. I said I've done some gardening. I've serviced the motorbike and sidecar. So the motorbike on that one's had an oil change already, and I've tensioned the chain and oiled the chain or whatever. I've got my 250 out, and I've had a couple of days ago I went for a short spin on that to make sure that's okay, and that's starting. First press of the button, I was really impressed with that. It's fuel injection, so it's not carburetor, which would cause in the olden days would cause a bit of a problem, maybe being stood for 5 months or whatever. But no, it just pressed the button and away it went. So I oiled the chain on that. It was just covered in cobwebs as it would be in the garage, and I've had to check for snakes because when you go in there, nobody's been in there since I left 5 months ago. And there's been a lot of snakes about recently, so they could have been nesting in there. They've been in the shop, which is connected to my garage, or my garage is connected to the shop, so I'm always a bit wary of it. Another thing I want to show you, not today, but probably tomorrow, is we got a massive rambutan tree at the back, and it's like the sweetest, best fruit ever. So I've shown you on the video before what they look like, but it's absolutely loaded. Normally I miss all this, and Sally just tries to freeze me for me before I get back in sort of October, November, because they're all gone by then. So I'm now, not constantly, because obviously I don't want to stomach upset, but I'm eating a lot of those rambutan. They're so nice. So I'll be showing that probably tomorrow, or maybe even later today, who knows. Anyway, that's it for now. Everybody take care. I'm back. I've arrived safely. And yeah, looking forward to my travels here. It won't be a lot this year because I've come back, like I said before, on a bit of a shoestring. So it's all going to be a bit tighter than normal, but I can still afford to travel around a bit. And yeah, just enjoy myself and relax, really. I've got a bit of back trouble, but I'll go into that another time. But I had that in England. So take care. Bye for now.